Hey, crypto media friends. Welcome to another Overtime show. I wanted to touch on today 10K TF. What does it mean? It is, what is it? There's so many mysteries, and I think it's almost intentional. This being probably one of the most, maybe even the landmark storytelling NFT project today. They've been doing this for months, and it almost took a lot of catching up on my part to really catch on to what they were doing, because it's not that it was a slow burn, but it was very pragmatic. And so everything that there was a functional Web3 component to, they made a story element of, and it's just something that I'm just like, wait, this is what I completely want to do all the time, and they were doing it. And so, when their main character was going off on the holiday to shoot photography, well, that was a snapshot for an airdrop. And so it's really working on this great pace. And this past week, there was sort of a high point in the storytelling where they took on a whole new multi-platform experience. And so let's sort of rewind back and take a look at what 10K TF is. And so here's the general map. And 10K TF houses a floating island, and it high above the city here, and it houses several collections. And the most at the center of it is the 10K TF shop. And the shop, as you can see, has been burned down. It's very exciting. We'll get to how it got burned down. Very tragic, but part of a really fun storytelling element that's preparing everyone, given this high story point, to what is ostensibly a quote-unquote big battle, the battle for New Tokyo. And so in this, you have the 10K TF. And apparently 10K, 10,000, TF was always a question for me. But apparently the big rumor is it's 10K, 10,000 true friends. And so a lot of these are tests that they're doing to try and weed out some of the riffraff, the flippers. They want people who want to engage in the storytelling community, and they've been going about it just for months. Just really smart, slow play elements to test that. And so some of it, I was just like, I'm scratching my head. I'm just like, is this a scam at some point? I'm like, they're putting money in people's wallets. It didn't quite make sense. But it's starting to pan out when you look at that definition. And so, ostensibly, that I got in through when Alessandro Michel, we covered this on the show, and Alessandro Michel collaborated with 10K TF, as well as, some of the brands. And let me show you what the brands were again. Wallets. There we go. So Oni, Bored Apes, and Cool Cats, Cryotoadz, Gutter Cat Gang, and Mutant Apes, Pudgy Penguins, Forgotten Runes, Wizard Cult, Wolf Game, and World of Women. So these collections, ostensibly, you could bring. You would get these elements. I'd really, man, this would be like a 2-3 hour video if I really broke down how to do all this stuff, because they've been doing it just for so long, building upon this central concept of this character Wagmasan, who is here, and he crafts these elements for these collections. And so the straight narrative is, in terms of utility narrative, is there's this person who's going to develop this wear for your collection and make collabs with luminaries like Alessandro Michel. But also, I mean, you look at the photography, and it's quite realistic, because there was a hint and there was a snapshot of actual physicals. And so that's sort of the utility hint here, the utility storyline of like, hey, you can have these things crafted and made for you. Now, that's just the tip of the iceberg in terms of what they understand as storytellers with this project, and why I'm really super impressed. So, 10KTF, these collections, but let's jump into, again, you're not going to find much about who they are, and that's the thing, is like, the team and all this sort of stuff, you got to go through Discord, and so there was this layer of obfuscation. You didn't know who was behind this, and so it takes a lot of, the community is so super interesting and very sleuthy, and they're on the lookout for clues, and they read every comment there. It's a wonderful community. I recommend joining the Discord there. You can get in for free, and then of course there's one locked area, but the rest is all fairly public. And so but through that you can bring the ideas of the sleuthing, and so the sleuths saw this is the character Wagmi-san. I saw like, oh, this is the symbol that's also the symbol for you can see up here in the corner, let me show it to you there, of this company, Winu. And so it was like, oh, okay, well, who's involved with Winu? Figgy and Gaio Siri and Mike Winkleman. Well, you might not know Mike Winkleman's name, but you might know his artistic name, which is Beeple. And so it took a while for people to kind of understand that they're able to bring in Gucci, they're able to bring in Louis Vuitton. It's just, it's kind of insane just on its own. Kind of growing from, this sort of sports moments into working with luxury retailers. And this is the thing about luxury retail place and business I know well, because those are most of my clients. Storytelling is paramount, and is so important to everything they do, and you can tell that this is translated into the work of Winu in this space. And so here it gives you more. The website, I'll put the links down below, especially the Twitters that are breaking down the mysteries of these collaborations of Animoca, of FTX, and how and why, and how close is this to the other side release that's dropping. I do this live. Like, subscribe, hit the bell notification. Help me get to 500, please, followers. I've been doing this a while, and I know there's a handful of hardcore groups, but I appreciate you guys sharing so they can grow this audience a bit more, because this type of storytelling and this type of interaction in Web3, I think, is just so important. I mean, you can flip all you want, but there's something about engaging this way that is why I'm here. It's why I think as a storyteller and working in Hollywood here at the studio, I want to be engaged in Web3, because the possibilities of storytelling are super expanded here, and what you have is a major step. And so a couple of these sleuths have broken down who's involved, what is New Tokyo, why is it important. Like, subscribe, hit the little bell notification as well, because I do this live because this stuff is happening like in the moment. So if you're watching this and like it's already Thursday, in a few hours they're going to go live with their announcement of what the battle for New Tokyo looks like, and you can earn their token NTD, more of it, more than that's been airdropped. And so it's a fun sort of way of releasing this I don't know if it's going to be a play to earn. It's a very, nobody quite knows what it is yet. But the excitement they've raised for it is really astronomical and phenomenal in this space, especially what it's done for not just their floor price and all this other BS, but like for their ecosystem. And that includes Bored Apes, that includes Onis, that includes everyone who's involved, because everyone wants to be involved with good storytelling. And so, so the new Tokyo dollars, you have to buy this the materials to make crafts or to craft, these supplies, and it's like, oh, guys, literally I could just do another hour just basically on making clothes within this thing. I want to do more of an overview. We can go into making clothes when I can make clothes, because I'm a bit frustrated because I got in just as Gucci was doing it. The window to make your Gucci was 7 hours. I'm like, I don't have that time. I think it was based on the East Coast proximity as well. So I don't have the time for that, for that small window. But I hope to rearrange my schedule next time, to try and make it, knowing that, because it was a bit shocking that anything would be that small of a window. So we'll get into the making of clothes on another episode. I just want to go over the overview of how powerful this storytelling arc has been. And you can make a lot of inferences as you sort of, learn more about this. And so a lot of the Easter eggs are trying to, especially this bottle, are trying to link the Other Side release with 10K TF. I don't know how or where it is. I just know that, obviously New Tokyo was kind of a floating thing, and it's kind of been its own thing. But certainly when you look at the video for the Bored Ape Yacht Club release of the Other Side, there was, or sort of the teaser for the release, which is coming in 2 days, guys. 2 days as auctions are going. Like, subscribe, hit the bell notification, because we do this live because it's all moving. And so everyone's trying to make the connections to it. They've placed him there, so there is a connection to what's on the bottle, which is a coda, to the drink that's also on Wagmi-san's counter. So they're trying to place these. How they're all connected is anyone's guess at this point, but man, does it cause a lot of fervor and sort of anticipation in this. So I'll let you read those threads. I've linked them below. And the really interesting part was I got to experience this live, as I've just been, growing more and more interested in 10K TF. And so they had a town hall, and they tend to have announcements on Thursday. So again, you're going to find this out today, the next sort of iteration of it. And so it was, it seemed fairly straightforward and almost normal. And so, let me turn up the sound for you. It's a little paused there. Sorry. And so it started off very like, oh, hey, here's the token update. This is the thing the airdrop that we're working on together, and glad you liked it. We're going to work on some tokenomics here, and then gosh, none of these are playing, so this is why I put the link in the description for you down below there, so you can go through and see how people have condensed it, because they did it in pieces during the town hall. These guys tokenomics, and then there was this sort of like constant like interruption into the moderator. You could tell it was staged, and they were having fun, but then they ended with I hope this one plays at some point. Try and let it play a bit. So, and then they went into okay, now we're gonna get into the battle for New Tokyo, and you're gonna need to know a lot of stuff for the battle for New Tokyo. And so we created this PDF, and it's got all the details, because you don't want to go into the battle for New Tokyo without all of these details. And then they cut the feed, and it was a very fun way of like saying like, hey, it's gonna still be a mystery, and they put old school like TV bars, and then for added effect, to make sure that people really understood this is stage, they put rugged in the screen. And so that left people like in a lurch of like, oh wow, something we thought was gonna be like an hour town hall, 10 minutes, 20, maybe, and then this is when the fun started to happen. So, and then it's just like in the Discord, it's like, hey guys, check out what's going on in Twitter. And, on the 10K TF shop was a series of videos, 16 small videos. I don't know why they chose to break it down like this, but it made it very cryptic and very engaging in this interesting way. Can I apologize? Nothing is playing, given this really poor connection. Studio lots do not have the best internet connection. To be honest with you, this is built in 1915-ish, started in 1915, and internet's not great here. But so I can walk you through, though, that the 16 clips have been compiled, and I put that link down below. Again, I did this just so that you guys can have access to this, even while you're watching it. Go ahead and click on it, and so you'll kind of see the breakdown of what happens, which is there's a toad, and a very specific toad. Well, he's now been named a boss toad. He was purchased for this specific purpose of playing the villain in this battle. And so they bought the rights, and I think this is what's fun too. And we talk a lot about rights here, as I know, but they've invited these projects because these projects have allowed their owners to own their copyright, and so they can, negotiate. They can purchase on their own the rights to these characters and then play with them. This is what we've been talking about this entire time, and this ability to bring multiple, characters together into a storyline is being executed now, and I think they're doing such a great job by introducing the storyline with and along with mechanics of tokenomics and of events. They can only happen in Web3, such as token drops, such as we're about to find out what a battle for New Tokyo means. And so check out that video, and it shows at the end of that video there's a fight between toads, Cryotoadz, as well as the wolves. And so in this fight, somebody brings a blowtorch and like an arrow with fire on it, and accidentally kind of shoots Wagmi-san's shop. The shop starts to burn. Cut. You go back to Discord, and suddenly on the Discord, there's a voice chat that pops up. The voice chat you go to, everyone's like listening in. The voice chat is nothing but the sound of rumbling, of burning fire, and crackling fire, and then so you start like asking questions like, what is going on? Slowly, the emojis around all the Discord channels were in flames, and as people were asking questions, Discord channels started to disappear until there was just one left. Really brilliant, because it funneled everybody into this one, in a sense, speaking room, this one chat room, where people were losing their minds and just fraught with anticipation of what's next. And some of the mods there were helping along by calling out, oh gosh, if we can help, we can help by bringing water. And then so people were just throwing images of water and engaging in these really fun ways, and dropping G's for Gucci, like somehow Gucci was going to help. And so the engagement level was really off the charts, super high. There were just hundreds of us sitting in this, the chat, listening to the fire, and then engaging in this way of trying to put out the fire. Eventually we do, and we go to what is currently here, and you can see the smoke coming from the 10K TF shop, and this is the result of that nice shop. Is now in rubble. And I noticed some items were missing there. Remember those items I was talking about? Perhaps that plays into it. We'll see. We'll find out. And then you go to the back alley, and this has been redesigned to prepare for people searching for elements of the story. And so now you have our central character Wagmi-san huddled in the back of the truck. And if you connect your wallet, you'll get a bit more information as to Wen Moon is her name. And her sort of journey to helping Wagmi-san. So just really absolutely incredible. I was really, really impressed by this level of storytelling in Web3, because this is in a way that only can be done in Web3. Leveraging, traditional sort of, I won't say traditional these days, but like, it's just like, having video and Twitter and Discord, sort of the tools that, we exist on in sort of, crypto Twitter and all these sort of things, but also using and leveraging the plot points for mechanics of Web3 that can only be done in Web3. And so I'm really excited, and I'll probably do another one of these just to kind of follow like what's going on this Thursday today that they're going to talk about. Like, subscribe, hit the bell notification because I do this live because this is what's happening in the moment, and I'll be excited to share with you guys for the next leg of the journey if it's revealed and what the battle for New Tokyo looks like, and how other projects are getting involved in the narrative. I think it's very exciting and really just a super smart play, clearly, with a lot of super smart people doing some really great work together right now. All right, guys, I'll check you on the next one. Thanks for listening. Like, subscribe, hit the bell notification. Get me to 500, please. That'd be amazing.